Hi, my name is Candace, and I'm the Director of Clinician Development for WellQor. Often we get the question of, I'm not sure who I should be referring. We deal with every level of housing from independent all the way to assisted and memory care, and even some nursing homes. So I want to be able to better prepare you and answer the question, who should we refer to WellCor for services? My first answer would be any new person who is a new resident, who's moving in. And the reason for this is each person that's making this move, they're going to be going through a period of adjustment. They're dealing with the newness of a community, getting to know a whole new layout, getting to know a whole new routine, meeting new people, and trying to remember names of staff as well as other residents. Also, if you think about what prompts a person to be moving into a senior living community, often there's some sort of precipitant that has caused this. And at this point in a person's life, when they're an elder, they've probably encountered several losses. Maybe a loss of job status, and they have experienced retirement. Maybe they had a status within their community and no longer hold that position. Maybe their driving privileges have been revoked, and now they feel they've lost their independence. Potentially, they also probably have dealt with loss of loved ones, either spouses, important friends, neighbors. Also, they might have experienced the decline in finances. Maybe they once were financially secure and now are a little bit nervous about finances. Or else their health is poorer and they're more ill. I would also recommend that not only you refer the resident to us, but their families too, because if you think about families, they all have different personalities, and the more members of a family, the more problems that there could be. If you think about it, someone is, I say, literally or physically in California. We can really assist families to get on the same page, to be able to communicate effectively and assist in helping them organize their thoughts. Maybe it's really developing good communication strategies that are effective. I also want to encourage you to refer to us when a person is going into a different level of housing. Sometimes they need a higher level of care. Somebody that once was in independent housing might need to now go to assisted living. Or if they're in assisted living now, they just might need extra care and now have to go to memory care. Sometimes that's really difficult, not only for the resident, but for the family as well. So we can really assist them in this transition to make sure that everyone's working together and that the senior adjusts as well as possible during this time. If you notice that one of your residents who once has always participated in activities, they used to go to everything, you always saw them out in the hallway or going to this event or that event, and now they become more distant, more reserved or withdrawn. Or maybe you might notice that somebody's out front in the foyer waiting excessively long, hoping that maybe family and friends are going to visit them, or they're waiting for an excessive amount of time for rides that don't show or come several hours later. Sometimes that's a little peculiar. I also want you to feel free to refer to us if a resident is becoming more confused. Maybe you're noticing they're getting turned around a little bit or coming down at odd times. Maybe they think it's lunchtime and it's 9 o'clock and they just ate at 8. That might be saying something might be going on. Also, if a resident has extreme emotions, are reacting really strongly, or excessively worried about things that might be pretty minute, You really want to look and consider changes in behaviors or patterns. That's really what you're wanting to look for. And if you do notice a big change, that's certainly a reason for referral. If people are having difficulties with other residents or even staff and they're being really confrontational, that might be a good reason for referral too. Yes, there are many personalities, and as you get older, you get set in your ways. I also want you to know if somebody is highly repetitive, maybe they're asking the same question again over and over, and you're like, I just told her that a little while ago. I wonder why she's asking again. Or you notice they need more prompting. Maybe they used to go down to meals on their own, but now all of a sudden they're staying in their room waiting for somebody to tell them what to do because they can no longer self-initiate. That'd be a great reason for a referral. Maybe if they're no longer doing what they once enjoyed, maybe the resident really enjoyed reading or doing puzzles, painting, playing games or knitting, and now they're kind of just staring off blindly at the TV, passing time. That would be a great reason as well. Maybe their family isn't coming as often, or their family has recently moved. That could be a pretty big loss. You also should evaluate eating patterns. Maybe somebody who had always eaten 75 to 100% of the meal all of a sudden now is eating 25 to 30% of their meal. That's quite significant. Or else they really were a picky eater and all of a sudden they're eating everything on their plate and then asking for more food. That could be a reason for a referral too. If you are noticing that somebody's pacing or exhibiting nervous behavior, maybe you feel like, boy, they're going to wear a hole in the rug, or boy, those shoes certainly have put on the miles. That might be a little bit of anxiety they're exhibiting and would definitely be great for a referral. Or even during shift change, if you notice that they're feeling apprehensive or more demanding at that time. Speaking of more demanding, maybe they're pushing their call button more often. Maybe they only pushed it once in a while before, but now all of a sudden they're pushing it quite often. Also, if they're increasing complaining, maybe before they kind of were go with the flow, things happened once in a great while, but now they're sitting outside, camped at your door, ready to tell you what else has gone wrong. That might be another sign that a referral might be warranted. Also notice if they're making hurtful comments. This might be out of the ordinary for them and you're surprised. Boy, they never, I thought, would have said that before to someone. Usually they would consider others' feelings and now all of a sudden aren't. The other thing to observe is a person's appearance. Maybe now they're more disheveled. Maybe they're no longer putting on their makeup, or their makeup is looking a little bit off, or they're not changing their clothes. If you notice that a person's been wearing the same shirt for a couple days, that would warrant you making a referral. Or maybe they're dressed inappropriately in shorts and a t-shirt and it's negative 10 degrees outside. Not really appropriate for the weather. If somebody has experienced a significant loss, sometimes that's a really difficult thing to cope with, especially if that person lived at the facility or came often or was another resident of the facility. They might need to process that loss. Also, think about sleep disturbance. If all of a sudden they're up at night and sleeping during the day and that kind of reversal of sleep has occurred, or they're sleeping excessively, or they're not sleeping at all, definitely let us know. We can help with that. Also, if you notice that somebody appears intoxicated and you're worrying that they're consuming a lot of alcohol or they're seeking medications and drug seeking, and all of a sudden can't tell you a lot about the pain, but they're pushing their button all the time for that pain med, might be a good reason for a referral. You might also notice that a person's complaining more about their pain. Pain isn't just physical, but it also affects a person's emotional well-being, and we can help with problem solving some pain issues too, and discussing some strategies that might help them alleviate some of that pain. If a resident is all of a sudden stealing or experiencing some hoarding behaviors, they're taking things that aren't theirs, or they're refusing to throw things out that you would think they would, maybe napkins, and they're collecting all of these all of a sudden and stowing them away, hiding them, that might be a reason for referral. Some things are a little bit more obvious, like if a person is more tearful or have frequent crying spells. Also, if all of a sudden they're having some maladaptive behaviors that are repetitive, like scratching their skin, itching, or picking at themselves, that would be a reason for referral too. Pay attention to how people talk, the words that they choose, and the things that they say. If they're talking with a despair tone, such as, "I just don't want to even do this anymore," or "no one would miss me," or "it's not worth it anymore." Those are expressions that definitely would warrant a referral. Sometimes you might also see a person have some challenges in planning, in problem solving, even simple things that they once did, or having some issues balancing their checkbook. Maybe their rent, the check is signed in an odd way or not at all. Those would definitely be a good reason for referral. If a person's also having difficulty with reading comprehension or writing all of a sudden, or they can't explain things. Also, maybe they're having some challenges in word finding, or they're starting to tell you about something and trail off and then can't get themselves back on topic again, and they just seem to get lost. That might be also a reason for a referral. Also, think about a decrease in poor judgment. Maybe once they had made good choices, and now they're compromising their own safety. I know safety is a main concern for you guys in facilities, and for us too. We want to make sure that everyone stays safe. So if you notice any of these symptoms or signs, absolutely make the referral. If it's not appropriate, we'll definitely let you know. Or we might be able to take a peek, see what's going on, and provide reassurance or else direction into some coping skills or developing some comprehensive strategies of communication, and help you, the family, and the resident through difficult times. We're here for you and we want to help. So definitely give us a call, and we look forward to your referral. Thank you.